Hello everybody and welcome to a new vlog, Afterthoughts, the fourth one, and this time recorded here in a very nice building, a 15th, 16th century building. I just played 2 hours ago a concert for a very small group of people from Holland, and it was very nice to do just an introduction for them to clavichord not only, but also to classical music and the way I am working with that, and so very nice. I like these small settings which we can talk a little bit and exchange ideas and impressions. So it was 2 hours ago. We brought all the equipment with us, and by the way, I have made some video from this building, so I will show that right now when we're talking. So Anja and I brought the all equipment with us because we thought it might be an occasion to film, make a video recording of a music video recording in another environment as usual. So that we did, and tonight we recorded Clementi Sonata in F Minor, Opus 14 number 3. There's some different numbers with Clementi, and I have to check out what exactly that is. But anyway, this is a sonata that's a little bit later than the previous one that we did in A major. It's written in 1784, but also to be considered one of the earlier sonatas of Clementi. He was only 32 years old at the time, and this sonata really is incredible music. You know, Clementi has made tons of sonatas, and they have all something special. But you have many sonatas written in a very popular style of that time, and maybe not always touching or going very deep. It's very nice to play, very nice to listen to, but not always at the same. In the same inspiration of emotion that we expect from music written by Beethoven and that kind of music. It is as if he touches some elements sometimes and just go on and proceed. But he has written sonatas that really are spectacular. And this one, the F Minor Sonata, is maybe one of the most beautiful sonatas of the 18th century, maybe. It is full of novelties, difficulties, but especially also of new ideas that you find actually only 10 years later with music of Beethoven. You have to listen to, just check out the recording, but just play some elements. And by the way, this is a recording with an historical temperament, real historical temperament. And for those of you who doubt what that might be, that's a temperament probably that many instruments in those days had. I mean, a bit out of tune. You know that clavichord has been transported, and it needs time to settle. You have here the spotlight, it's a bit warm. So the temperament changes. It has been tuned 2 times. I should retune it again. These first 2 movements, they were okay. In the third movement, which is really heavy music, also for the clavichord, when it's not very stabilized, the instrument, the temperament starts to change, and it's now about 10 o'clock. So I think we will have to leave the building in about 20 minutes or so. So I should actually have retuned it before the third movement, but I haven't, and so some chords are really old temperament like. But I think, well, hey, we are here, and it's a very nice sounding room. And for Clementi, this music can use a little bit of more atmosphere, more brightness. It's a very bright sounding room. So I just thought, well, let's do it, and actually I enjoyed it very much. And maybe the tuning is not an issue, but when I demonstrate a little fragments here, don't be surprised about the tuning, because the instrument now is really tired. I have to retune it, but I won't, because we won't have time to do that. So it's this sonata I will tune the F because I just adjusted them. So this sonata, okay, there it is. 1784, imagine that, and that those days just begin a sonata like this. And we enhance some elements of that. I want to show you, however, the thing that really struck me is, you know, Beethoven was a real admirer of Clementi. We know that. But when I played this piece for the first time, which is actually some weeks ago, I knew the piece, but I never played it really in detail. But I did now, obviously, for the recording. And there is one passage like this, and it's actually complete Beethoven, but only Beethoven 12 years later. 1784, Clementi is dead. And so on. I don't know if some of you have recognized, but it's exactly his Opus 10 number 2. Develops it in a different way, but that's really striking. You know, that shows the importance of Clementi, really. This first movement, let's talk about that for a minute, is with the tempo indication allegro agitato. Allegro agitato, and that agitato is something strange. You can of course look it up, and it will say something really emotional, yeah, with this translation in French, agité, of course. But what really does it mean? And it's important because in Beethoven you find it many times. Beethoven's pathetique is allegro agitato as well. I've thought about it long, and I don't know if there are sources that I haven't seen yet, but for my feeling, agitato could mean a kind of rubato. It's a tempo rubato. I mean, if you play this beginning just as you would play an early Mozart sonata, just in time, it's rather strange. But if you apply to this what is written much later about rubato, Czerny wrote about rubato very extensively and very interesting. We should come to that. So rubato means not doing everything you want with the tempo, but just changing the movement a little bit, but always in a logical way. I'll explain you that in a minute. Then you get something like this. We should realize that this notation is very early, so this sense of what's rubato was I'm sure that it was in practical musical life. I mean, people then ended the sentence, of course, also with a little bit ritardando, but it was not, I think, in a general movement applied, that you really go forward and go back with the tempo. You know, this Beethoven pathetique is also allegro agitato, and I played it on YouTube as well, and that's my way of approach for the moment. Also, and it's kind of that you have this feeling of, we talked about it in the last video, just this rhythmical movement of heavy beats and light beats, that it is a pleasure to play, and that is old music, 18th century music. That's enough. You shouldn't have this urge, this feeling for playing over the beat, this tension, this little bit romantic feeling, but that's exactly what Clementi introduced, in my opinion. excuse me, and playing rubato in this early music, as you would do in Beethoven, it's not like, and it may sound obvious, it's not like you would do in Wagner music. It's, you stick much more to the beat of the piece in a way that you have this clear movement, that you change a little bit, but you go back immediately. And this movement, as I feel it, is a kind of circle movement. That's to be applied in all music, also music that has a strong beat structure. But here, especially if you leave that a little bit, you open that for a rubato kind of playing, which Mozart also describes, but maybe not as explicitly as here in this piece to be demonstrated. But it's a kind of circle movement, and if the circle goes up, you slow down, and you come on top, but the movement is still there, but it's slowing down, and you go down, and it's accelerating, and it's coming back. And this tension of coming back, you can of course come back earlier, come back sooner, faster, to this 0 point, so to say, on top. Or you can have it very slowly, but this tension is there. And as long as the tension is there and the circle is around, and you feel the movement, I think you can't do anything wrong, except of exaggerating. It's also compared to the movement of a ball that's going up. And a ball going up will never drop immediately. It goes and slows down, and then comes to a point where it returns. But in this point of return, that's a magical moment, because there's all the energy of the wave going up, and again and at the same time the preparation for going down. And that's, in essence, as I feel the tempo agitato, if it is rubato. It might be interesting to look at compare more sonatas or movements at those days written in allegro, agitato, and just see how they differ from other pieces. Because there must be one element in the music that Clementi or Beethoven saw that needed this indication agitato. I'll show you some other elements. Here you have this beautiful expression. A huge accent that really throws you over the beat, and if you just play it in the beat, I think it lacks, it misses something. Just the forzando piano, something else that is introduced in this music is heavy contrast. And then these silences is really makes it so nice to play on clavichord. Another example here in a large crescendo. And then the contrast with the sforzando fortissimo pianissimo. And then you come close to silence, and really that's amazing. So is this music written for clavichord? Who knows? The kind of expression that Clementi requires, you can say in 1784 that not so many instruments were capable of giving all the nuances, from pianissimo to fortissimo, with all kinds of crescendos and decrescendos, but the clavichord. Tangentenflügel maybe. And on the other hand, of course, Clementi is maybe just expanding. And then you have this second movement. This really 1784, imagine. So that was a little interruption to say that you have to close, and it's a pity in one. But We might come back to this sonata once, because this middle section is really way ahead of his time, and Beethoven is much influenced by Clementi. We all know that, but it's so nice that it shows up in the music that you play. Then the last movement, which is on the YouTube channel, and you have to check it because that's really all temperament. And we might make it another recording of that, because in a better tuning. So that was it for today. We have to stop. It's 10 o'clock. They're closing here. We have to get rid of all the equipment here, and still 20 minutes to work. Thank you for watching. Don't hesitate to ask questions, or if you have some pieces in mind that you would like me to play, please leave comments. And I thank you also for your subscription. Don't forget to subscribe and to share this video if you like it with your friends. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.